Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today is absolutely a wonderful day. Look at that. There's no clouds. Boy, oh boy, I feel like we haven't seen the sun in like a long time. Isn't that wonderful? I think it's going to be a great day. That is one reason I do like winter. Once it sets in, there's the sun coming up. She's still waking up. It's early. I'm still waking up too. Still having my morning coffee, but it is beautiful out. Absolutely amazing. All right, yesterday we did a lot of stuff. Being the last video, I guess. So here's where we're at. Our well line comes from the well over there, runs through past this trench into the house. We're now going to run 3 more lines out this trench. One for well water, which will connect in the house and bring to the guest house, the schoolhouse, and also to our workshop. And then we're going to bring out 2 lines for heating, and those need to be insulated really well. So this trench runs around past here, and beside this schoolhouse we're going to have, on this little area that I got to make yet, we're going to put the wood boiler. We'll use wood to heat water, and that water needs to be shipped to the house for heat. So that needs to go that far. And then we're also bringing water all the way to the shop, and we're going to bring those water lines also to the shop, because eventually I want to throw a bigger, so that's going to translate as magazine. That's not proper. It's not a store, it's a workshop, an area for us to work, a workspace. And we're going to have an outdoor wood boiler over there, either in the shop or outside. I'm not sure yet. Maybe even a coal-fired one, because I hear those are pretty efficient as well. So anyway, it's going to be out there in the workspace eventually. So we're going to put the lines in right now, and we'll probably throw an extra couple of lines in there just in case. You know, down the road we want to put something else in. So that's the process for today. Those lines for heat need to be insulated. So we bought some styrofoam. I did this in Canada one time, and people told me it's not going to work, but it worked great. We actually didn't even bury that one very far. We had 2 lines, 2 pipes. I think they were 1-inch pipes, approximately, so 2.5 centimeter. And 1 hot, 1 cold. We had 2 inches of styrofoam underneath, 2 inches around and between, and 4 inches on top. And then we covered that in some plastic and buried it. And it was only maybe 20, 30 centimeters below the surface of the ground. Something like that. That's it. And it never, obviously it couldn't freeze because it had couldn't freeze because of the antifreeze in the lines, but no heat loss. In the wintertime, when the snow fell on the ground, you can pretty quickly see if there's heat coming out of the pipes, because the snow would melt, and it never did. And so therefore I know that it will work, and we'll do the same thing here again. I don't know if there's another option. Probably is. In Canada, you can buy a, what do you want to call it? Like a drainage tile. It looks like a drainage tile, a big O we call it, and it has the hot and return line in it, wrapped in styrofoam. But I find that everywhere that I've seen them installed, there's always heat loss. You can see the snow has melted a little bit. So what we did worked just as well, and we're going to do the same thing here again today. And it's just a stunning day. It's beautiful. It's a great day to be alive, everyone. Thank you all for your support, for watching our channel, supporting our family on this journey. It's been a roller coaster ride, just absolutely cool that we now live in Russia. Although this looks like many places in Canada, this is indeed Russia. And we just feel so blessed to be here. So thank you very much for opening your arms, opening your country, opening your hearts to our family, and welcoming us in. We greatly appreciate it. And we hope that we will do this country justice and integrate with you all and truly become Russians. That's why we're here. Over here we also made a big mess. All the trenches are dug for the new workspace. I don't know if we'll get it all done this year or not. Everything's kind of as we can afford. Oh, I got a little bit of frozen, eh? Yesterday this was quite muddy. And now I can safely walk here without getting dirty. So there's a lot of slope here. We're about 1.5 meters deep here. And over there we're almost at the surface, but we made the trench 1 meter deep anyway, because we would like our post to be at least that far down. It'll be backfilled with sand, and I'll have drainage tile all the way around to make sure no water is in here. This first area, we scrape the topsoil off. It'll also be filled with sand. Eventually it'll be a concrete pad. This will be our actual workspace where we can do welding, build things, fix things, oil changes, that sort of stuff. The next piece over there will just be storage for our tractors or baler or mower or maybe some hay. It's not super big, but it'll be all right for now. And this piece over here, we're hoping to run a few cows in here for now, and other animals as well, but where we'll get started. Long term, we'll probably build a barn back there, but you know how it goes, everything as you can afford it. We're not super duper wealthy. We got enough to kind of get set up here, and then hopefully we'll be profitable enough next year that we can continue to add to this. Man, sunshine is just glorious. I cannot imagine living with no sun. I think of that often in the winter time because the sun goes down so much sooner now. When you live up farther north, you get even less sun. And there's some places where the sun don't rise at all for a big chunk of the year. I just can't imagine living like that, where you don't get to see the sun. There is none. Of course, in the opposite time of year, the sun doesn't go down. You have sunshine all the time, even at night. And that also would be kind of weird. It's normal to have nighttime and daytime, right? So, interesting life. Also hoping to get at this, but I do want to get these trenches filled up first. So we still haven't got the steel on the roof. I think we have enough time. We're going to work on this right now. I'm going to go to town and get some water lines. We'll try to get these trenches filled back in so nobody falls in. And we got to get some concrete ordered to make pads in the trenches. And then the posts can sit on those. I have to order posts as well. Then we'll backfill all that. And that's probably it for the shop for now. At least it'll be started, and then throughout the winter, whenever we have time or money, we can continue to work on it and maybe get it done. At least parts of it anyway. I considered maybe just the workspace with the concrete floor, that area, get that part done, and then we can do the rest later maybe. We'll see how it goes. The styrofoam I bought, very similar to the stuff we did in Canada. And so we'll, it's about 2 inches thick. So we'll do 2 inches underneath, 2 inches on the sides, and 4 inches on top. And that should be good. Right? It's gonna work. Worked in Canada, should work here. Oh yeah. All right, equipment finally arrived. So we bought these with the tractor originally, manure forks with a grapple. And this is a grapple for silage bales, wrapped bales. This is the new seeding equipment. Can't see a lot yet. This is for our gardening for next year, getting ready. So I can tell there's a seed box here, some hoses. A little hard to tell what everything is. We will unwrap it soon. This is the other half, another seed box. Seed or fertilizer, I'm not 100% sure. And then our wheel weights for the tractor. That'll make a big difference. Look forward to having that on as well. There he comes. We're going to narrow the forks up a minute. Scoop it up. Very thankful to have the help here. That's probably good, eh? Slide the other one in a little bit. Oh, I guess we could just do one too, whatever. That's good. Yeah. tip over on you. There you go. Oh, that's good.
How do you want it?
Just like that, you can pick it up through here. Just keep them away from the sidewalls. It wouldn't take much to punch through that, I don't think. You let your kids start driving tractors at 8, so that by the time they're 14 they can do this no problem. Goofy. Alright, now the seeder. You gotta tip it up a bit, eh? So this is not, well, delivered, I guess. The new machine for the garden is from a separate company, not from Tractorist. But our friend Andre, we had it delivered to his shop, and this is his truck delivering it now to us. The implements are still from Zelskomash, which I'm told I always say wrong, but get used to it. And that was all done through the Tractorist from Andre. And the weights also, they're from them as well. So, but he was nice enough to deliver. This is an employee of the Tractoristi delivering our stuff here today. Zelskomash is the loader, manufacturer, as well as the implements for the loader, but not this machine. We will start throwing links to this machine in the description as well. If you would like to have one, of course, it'd be nicer once you see it running. I'm curious to see it running as well, but we will make some in-depth videos on how that all works for you. And the links will start appearing in the description. So if it's something you're interested in, follow that link and enjoy. Voila. Alright, and that's going to hook up with these hoses on here to wipe them up a minute. Can we get this off? Just trying to get the hydraulic hose in here right now. So that is an attachment for picking up silage bales so you don't poke holes in them. One thing we talked about getting, I don't know if we will yet, we like making silage bales. You can get an individual bale wrapper and do it right out in the field as you're baling. And then to pick those up, you can't use an ordinary bale forks because you poke a hole in the plastic. The idea is that you could bale and wrap all at the same time, and then at a later day you can come by and pick them all up, and that's what this clamp would be for. So you can pick them up without wrecking them, set them on a wagon and bring them home. So very good. We will put it away and show you the next one. While we're at it, this is the makings of our new root cellar. Great big hole. Should be enough to store a few carrots in there, I would think. And some kartoffels. Wonderful. Alright, so it's a very narrow one, but it should work good. I was not expecting that, and it's the difference between imperial and metric again. When I bought this, I didn't think metric very well, so probably the measurements were written down, and I went more with the photo. I like to have my implements just as wide as the tractor, and the reason is when you're cleaning out the barn, otherwise your tires end up driving on the manure. And then it's pretty hard to clean it out nice, but we're going to give this a go. Also, up against the wall, if you're cleaning up against, you can't really get to the edge very well because your bucket's not wide enough. So if I have a 7-foot wide tractor, then I like to have a 7-foot wide implement, that kind of an idea. And this is much, much narrower. Now, it's not the end of the world. What we've done before, and I've seen other guys do, is just add a piece on here with another tooth, that kind of an idea. We'll see how it goes. Either way, it should be nice. The grapple is great because when you're cleaning out manure, especially if you got a straw bedding pack and you go to pick it up, you back up, the straw helps, it holds all the fiber together and you can't get the manure out of the barn. And having the grapple here, once you get your load scooped up, you can squeeze it down and pull out. So super duper handy, which is why I wanted it. And even if the grapple is not full width, that's okay. We can add one more tooth to the side of each side, and then the grapple will still do its job. But we'll try it first before we start making any adjustments to it. Definitely try it. There it goes. Yeah. Hard to see from in the cab. There it goes. Wonderful. Now the nice thing with this loader is that we can lock and unlock the implements with this hydraulic cylinder right here, which is super handy. You can do that from inside the cab, and it's the same hydraulics that runs this. So Wes is going to try to hook those up now. Unfortunately, we just bent this bracket when we were taking the grapple off, so, or I shouldn't say Wes bent it. We bent it straight again now. That's why they're pointing in different directions. We'll try to hook these up a minute and we'll see what that looks like. So I'm not sure why the hydraulic coupler is giving us a little grief. They did with that last thing too. So there's a couple of balls missing out of that one. I don't know if that maybe is why, but we got her hooked up now. We'll try it out. Oh yeah. Dangerous weapon. So like I said, so now if you drove into a pile of grass, you can go ahead and grab it here, but then when you back up, it tends to fall off. But now we can just squeeze that in, and then we back up, you get a good mouthful of manure, or whatever you're stacking. You could use it for silage too, like haylage, putting it in a pile maybe. Like I said, it's a bit of a small bucket, but it'll do the job. Very good. I've never owned one, but I've always wanted one so many times stacking manure, and especially when you're using long straw-like bedding, it is so difficult to get a good mouthful. So this will be very, very, very handy. Again, if you're interested in an implement like this, they're made right here in Russia at Zelskomash, as well as all the other implements that we have here on the farm. And if you want a tractor like this, call my good friend Andre at the Tractoriski here in Nizhny Novgorod. Not only do they sell tractors, there's also excellent service and excellent, wonderful people. equipment's not everything. The customer service is probably half the importance of a business. Very, very important to have good customer service. Okay, honesty is important, and it wouldn't be fair if I only showed you the good stuff, okay? So I have to show you the bad stuff too. And I don't like to do that, but I'm gonna anyway. We still very much love the loader. Absolutely love the tractor. It's working great. The bucket is not good. It's poor quality. And I have to just be honest about it. It's too thin. I have used my buckets in Canada for twice as much heavy lifting as I can do with this bucket. And I have used it for years and years with that kind of work level or abuse and never had this problem. I've only got 60 hours on the tractor and the bucket has not been used the whole time. Yes, we're moving dirt and clay, but it's a smaller bucket than I'm used to. And I've done the same thing with my old buckets. This is falling apart. This is all broke apart. This is all bent because that broke apart. And it all started with these not being beefed up enough. So we're gonna fix it now. It's part of normal things. I'm not complaining. I know I've put it through a lot of work, but I am saying that it's not built to the standards that I'm used to. Everything else I'm very happy with. Don't misunderstand me. I'm very happy with it, but the quality is not what I'm used to. And I have to just be honest about that. If you're gonna come here and buy a bucket through the same use as what I'm used to putting my buckets through in Canada. And I know people have said, hey, you gotta get a stronger bucket for that. Maybe, but when I buy a bucket like this in Canada, I use it for exactly what I'm using it for. I don't have a problem. We're gonna strengthen it. We're gonna add metal in here to beef this up. But that's essentially where it started, is this piece is too thin. It's too narrow, too small, and needs a thicker design to help hold this distance. When we were back dragging, it ended up folding, and that's what caused this. And then not fixing it on time caused it to get worse. So now it's to the point where I have to fix it because it's in just terrible shape right now. That's okay, we got a welder. We're gonna weld her all up and we'll have her looking almost new in no time. Now I still highly recommend the loader. It's a good loader, good company, built right here in Russia. But that particular bucket is not gonna meet your needs if you wanna do this. So you will have to buy, I'm assuming they sell a heavier duty bucket. You're gonna have to buy a heavy duty one. Don't buy that one, not for this. It's probably great for sawdust or stuff like that, but it's not good for moving clay or sand. All right, today is an exciting day. You would probably disagree with me, but I think it's an exciting day. So just hear me out. This is another historic first for me. Today is going to be the very first day that I have welded in Russia. I know, it's probably not that exciting, but it is. The reason I'm welding is because my bucket's broken. So that's why I say you probably wouldn't agree that's exciting. You'd say, Aaron, why is it exciting? Your bucket is busted. Yeah, true, but I like fixing things. And so now that it's broken, I have an excuse to use my welder, and I enjoy welding. We're gonna fix this bucket. This is a welder, came recommended to me, and so I bought it because we needed one. And they didn't have my old brand. I had a pretty good welder in Canada, and I used it for many years, fixing many different projects. And now this is gonna be my new welder that I'm gonna try out here in Russia, and I'm gonna fix this up. It's not gonna be perfect, but that's okay. It's gonna be better than what it looks like right now. Alright, so that's what we're going to replace that with. instead of that. So we can weld it to the old stuff and then up to the bucket. And this will definitely be a lot stronger. I'm going to add one more. I don't like having things in the middle of my bucket because it makes it harder to scoop stuff up, but in this case, okay. Okay, I'm definitely not an expert welder, self-taught, mostly on the farm and a little bit installing milking equipment. So, but I really enjoyed it, it's fun. So I've got these gussets welded in here now. That'll make a massive difference. And welded that up there. It's a lot of splatter, and that's because it's dirty, so it's not grounded that well. To do a real good job, you got to take off all the paint and stuff. But this will work for now. I'm gonna go put another one in here yet, and up to probably the top here, I guess, to help keep that from folding in. Got the tops all welded up as well. Better than it was, or not better than original, but better than when it was broken. So we'll get this thing operational again, and hopefully we'll be able to use it. And we'll bend these back in a little bit too. Got to whack them with the sledge. And this one here is sticking right out the sides. The same thing, we'll bend it down. Try to weld that up a bit more, and then put another brace in. And then I might try to bend this top back again as well, and then probably beef that up with a piece of metal too. But we're getting there. Alright, looks like a little bit of a mess in the trench right now, but it's gonna be okay. So we've wrapped those tubes in insulation, and we're gonna cover them. So these are for the from the boiler. It's gonna be coming from the boiler over here, out through the trench and to the house. And then we're gonna make some from the boiler off to the new workshop as well. Later on, like I said, the new boiler, bigger one, would be in the workshop, and it will then come this way, feed this guest house / schoolhouse, and come off to the house as well. But for now, we're going just there. And so it needs to be insulated really well. So for one, we wrapped it in this gray, what I call a pool noodle, and it's wrapped in there. We're gonna have 2 inches of insulation underneath, 2 inches on either side, and 4 inches on top. And that is exactly what I've done before, minus the pool noodle. I've never done that part, so that's just added. And then Wes is filling them up with foam, so that's also added for more insulation. So this is going to be very well insulated. We're going to throw 2 layers on top and then backfill. But I thought I better film it here now because Wes is just gabbing her. Everybody's quit for the day, but he just wants to keep going and get her done. Good work ethic right there.
Hey darling, I'll tell you what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.